Hello everybody and welcome back to Large Hog Gaming. I'm Zach. Today we are jumping back into Cities Skylines 2. If you had watched the couple of videos I made on the city of Haynesburg, sadly I have recently just built a new PC and I seem to have lost the file containing that city. So I am forced to basically start over or start a new city, which in this case here, I'm starting a new city on a new map. This is the Sunshine Peninsula map, I believe. It comes with the base game. And I figured this was one of the better maps to kind of go with. It's got a lot of flat, buildable area, land, resources are abundant everywhere, and it's kind of an interesting map in the sense that kind of all of the, I guess, car and train traffic is all coming from one point on this map rather than kind of flowing around and coming from different points. But I think this will be a fun series here to start this new city up. And we're kind of starting basically smack dab in the middle of this map here, which provides us kind of this interesting landscape right along the start of this river that kind of flows out to the ocean. I've got this, obviously, peninsula, as the map is named, so I've got that to contend with. Maybe we'll loop up and around there to kind of expand our city at one point once we get to that point. And yeah, we're founding a new city. I have not named this yet, and I think in the theme of just kind of sticking with my channel, I'm just gonna name this Hogland. So we have the new city of Hogland here on the Sunshine Peninsula map, and yeah, we'll get started here trying to lay out essentially what will be the foundation of our city. See kind of how it expands throughout its history. Yeah, there's, like I said, a lot of area to build on here. A couple of islands and some waterways to kind of contend with, but we'll see what happens when we get to that point. But for now, we'll start kind of laying out the beginnings of the city here, trying to figure out what we're going to do with water, what we're going to do with power, and then the kind of overall road network layout. Interesting. The road kind of leads us right into this kind of start of a hillside into the river, so I might switch that up, kind of curve it around, and maybe eventually we'll lead back to these train tracks here at another date to run the highway here along the train tracks and get over to this side of the river here, and possibly up and onto the peninsula at some point. But I think for now, we'll start with kind of the basic road layout to start the city. As you can see, I'm playing on unlimited money, just makes things easier. Yeah, if you could like the video, subscribe to the channel. I plan to make quite a few videos here on Hogland, and we'll see together how it turns out. So follow along on the journey, like and subscribe, and we'll get started here just kind of with a basic road layout. Alright, so I have essentially the basic structure laid out here for the start of our city. I figured, nice open flat land works well for kind of starting with a simple grid here, breaking it up a little bit with the angled road here to kind of match where the river is, and eventually I think this will lead out to another highway interchange over here once we get to that in the future. Decided to go with some wind power. You probably saw me messing around with kind of the outputs of how much we could really produce here as far as wind power goes, and it seems like there's a ton kind of up on the peninsula. Go figure. Obviously, higher ground, more wind up there, but this seemed to be the best spot to kind of provide us with a little bit of power for now. Maybe in the future we'll have to have more wind power kind of generating from somewhere else as well, or provided with a coal power plant or something else. But essentially went with the groundwater pumping station here. We had some groundwater here rather than pumping it from the river here, and of course we had to add in our sewage outlet right here along that shoreline here. But that's kind of the start of the city here. We'll start getting some zoning in so we can get some people moved in and see how Hogland begins. So I'll get that set up now. zoning here. I'm going to let the time pass here now, let things start to flow in, see how we do with getting citizens into this Hogland here. And here we are, the cranes. Cranes going up, citizens moving in, businesses moving in here along what is called Hickory Street right now, kind of our main street running through off the highway here. We'll get people coming in off the highway here pretty soon to start moving in, I assume. Things are starting to take shape. We decided to put the industry over here. All of the wind and everything is blowing essentially this way, so hopefully none of that pollution will get to our citizens, and I think it should be hopefully far enough away so that it doesn't end up polluting our groundwater, but I can always adjust that as needed if it does start to creep in there. Yeah, getting quite a few people moving in here. Residential demand is going up a little bit here, so I might zone a little bit more residential as the city starts to grow here. But yeah, we're looking to reach that first milestone, get some new services, and continue to grow. So we'll wait and see if we get to that point here as people start moving in. And there we go. Reached tiny village. Hogland is now a tiny village. So as the progression panel here, we unlocked a few map tiles, got a progression point, and unlocked a couple new things, more roads, some healthcare, garbage management, things like that. So those are things we got to take into account here now as we look at how our city wants to grow. First thing I like to do is kind of look at the healthcare. So we have our medical clinic is the first thing we can build. I do want that kind of somewhere off of this main road here. I think, just putting it looks like it should. Let's see, we'll put it, leave right about here should be good spot, kind of right in the middle of that main street. Everybody has access to it, and eventually we can put the extension wing on and an ambulance depot extension on it, but we don't need those at the moment. The city is not large enough yet. So that is taken care of. Next up is death care as well. We have to look into that. We don't have the crematorium yet. So we'll have to look at the cemetery, which is a large asset here. Let's see. Just because it is such a focal point of the city, being such a large present here, I'm thinking somewhere over in this area I might want to lay out some roads to accommodate for this. So I might do that here and figure out something to make this almost like a nice park / cemetery at the same time. So I will lay that out and we'll see how that fits in. so we've got this cemetery set up kind of in this broken up grid here. Provide some park area on, I think, either side of this. It allows expansion as well, with the mausoleum and the temple on both sides here. So we need to put those in at some point in the future, or right now. I can put that in. I have unlimited money, so I will. Let's see. I think this will work best. Let's say, let's put it kind of right off of the parking lot, front center here. Give it a little bit of room away from that road there, and I guess we'll put in mausoleum as well. We'll kind of mirror that on this side. Right there should work for that. It's not perfect, but it works. Doesn't line up necessarily with this this pathway here, but it's a start. We can put in some park area around here, some walking paths, and yeah, continue to grow the city here. And looks like we have some demand for medium density residential, which is a new thing we unlocked as well, kind of the row housing. Not a huge fan of how that looks, kind of taking over the city at the moment, just because it is, still, only technically 56 people live here. I don't think we really need row houses at the moment. We also unlocked some new roads. These ones here, as well as one of the bridges. So we'll have that to work with. And another thing we unlocked is the garbage management. So we'll have to find a spot for this landfill. Otherwise, garbage will start to become a problem here for our citizens. And it's thinking of putting it kind of up in this area over here. There's kind of this cutout in this hillside here that might work out well for the landfill. And it kind of fits in with our industrial area. Maybe we continue this road here and put it here. Have all of our garbage needs coming from this area. First thing I want to do, though, is kind of flatten out a piece of land here for that, so we don't interrupt too much clipping of terrain. So we'll just kind of flatten this out here, providing some space. And we'll come back and kind of soften those edges around here, trying not to disturb the natural elements that were here before. But there's that. We will I'll lay this out so that the road will be this way. I don't want it to be, we'll say, roughly about here. And we'll start to adjust the limits of our landfill. We'll kind of follow around this cliff side here. And you don't worry about this circle. So can't expand outside of that. We'll have plenty of space for all the garbage needs in Hogland. There we go. Quite a large area for the landfill, but it'll work for quite a while here. And we need the road to extend out to this point. So first we're going to provide an access point there. We'll continue this up till it hits the landfill, and we'll just kind of extend it out on either side, just like so. There we have it. The landfill, we can also add in the garbage truck depot. Hazardous waste collection point here. Maybe we can add that off to the side at some point. And we can also add in the waste recycling unit. So there's that as well. But for now, that'll work. It'll get us what we need. Looks like all of our industry is lacking workers here, so I'm going to continue to zone some residential. that'll start filling in, providing more people for these commercial buildings as well as our industry over here. We don't have much demand for those at the moment, so we'll wait and see if that helps us catch up. Getting closer and closer to the next milestone. I think at the moment we're also going to unlock a few more tiles here, just to kind of help us with the expansion of our city at some point. We'll just kind of grow out this way. Purchase all 3 of those. So we do know we want to expand this way eventually, and adding in the highway, so we'll have to unlock a few more tiles as well as the highway roads, since we don't have those yet. Also look at our development points and think about what we want to do here. We have 1 so far, so there's not much to work with. Could unlock the crematorium if we wanted to, but we already have the cemetery to take care of that. Can't buy either of those. I always like to just get the advanced road services out of the way. It allows us to kind of upgrade roads as needed. And yeah, I think that'll be good. So, growing pretty well so far. Residential demand is going up again, so we will, let's see, expand some more the road layout here and get more citizens in our little town of Hogland. Looks like we're filling in quite nicely here. It's starting to really look like a city. Thing I did want to go through and do is add in some pavement paths, kind of in between some of these houses. I think it just looks nice. I'm going to turn off all snapping so I can kind of get it where I want it to. I'm going to run kind of essentially what would be, you know, kind of like an alleyway without the road behind these houses here, providing access for all the pedestrians within our city here. Population keeps increasing here. Looks like we have some more demand for commercial. I will add in a little bit of that here along our main strip. Continue both these sides here, just like so. That should take care of most of what the city needs. One thing I have to take into account as well as the city starts growing is where we want to put our schools. Those are also fairly large assets in the game here, and I've got kind of a large block set here, possibly for the high school or the elementary school, and obviously we have tons of space to kind of work with out here as well if we wanted to expand that way as the city grows. We'll see when that gets to it, but hopefully we reach this next milestone here pretty soon, and I think that unlocks the schools for us, so we'll see. In the meantime, I think I'm going to work on kind of laying out some park space here with a couple of paths and maybe laying out some more trees. Alright, looks like night has fallen on Hogland. We're almost to that second milestone here, but you can kind of see all the street lights are turned on. Looks pretty nice. The grid is laid out pretty well to kind of accentuate that. Hopefully we reach that next milestone here pretty soon. If not, I might need to just kind of zone a couple more spots of residential, or even maybe some commercial. We have some more demand for that, so maybe I'll do that to kind of expand just this area here. We'll make these a little bit smaller, provide some space away from those houses we have on the other side. Spot there. And let's see, spaces that I want to use. Break up this chunk here, right in the middle. Of course, it's not going to be completely straight, but we'll work with it. And that'll do it for our next milestone, Small Village. And yes, it does unlock our schools for us. I think I will lay out the schools here, and that might do it for this episode. And let's see, elementary and high school. We also unlocked some, I believe, the apartment buildings, and got ourselves a few more development points. Take a look at those right now. Not too worried about getting larger roads in yet. Not so much worried about electricity. Water treatment isn't an issue yet. I think for now, just kind of leave it as is till we have a use for some of those. We will continue to buy tiles as we get them. We'll buy those four there, kind of expanding our borders. Yeah. But I think, yeah, next step is adding in these elementary schools. So we'll see kind of how these fit, both of them, how they fit in here. The elementary school will fit pretty well. Let's see if the high school looks like it's just a bit too big for this block here. I do want to add in the stadium along with this asset, so maybe this will go somewhere else, over in this area, possibly over here. First, we'll put down the elementary school. We'll have that off of Foggy Street. I don't think we're going to be able to get that perfectly centered. It's off by like 1 unit. So maybe we will just align it on one side here. Or, yeah, it's not perfect on that side either. So we'll do something like put it up against that corner there. And you can also add in, children's clinic as well. So we have room for that. I have room for extension wings and the playground as well if we want to add that in, which I usually like to have those attached. Put that, yeah, we'll put that over here. Nice little playground for the kids. Got our elementary school placed. The other thing we've unlocked is small apartment buildings. Again, I don't know if I really want to add those in at the moment. Just doesn't fit with the aesthetic we're looking at right now, as far as the city growth. Maybe in the future, we'll see. The next thing I wanted to look at was putting in this high school, and I think ultimately it might be nice to kind of have this close by the elementary school as well. You see that every so often where high schools and elementary schools are kind of in close proximity, having kind of the education campus. But I think I'm looking at putting it over here, kind of close near the elementary school. I might want to do kind of its own separate road entry here. So we'll see if we can get that made. Do something like this. Come out a little bit. Expand into here. Something like that with the one-way road. At least the high school. It's not going to be perfectly straight on there, but put it there. And then add in the stadium right alongside it here, kind of facing the highway here close by maybe. Or we could put it in the back as well. Add in some paths back there. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Put it back on this back end. So there's that. I am going to quick do that so we can see a little bit better without having it be nighttime. We have our stadium back here. Looks pretty nice. Got room here as well for something to go in here. Maybe a park of some sort, or maybe some parking lots. You'll need that obviously with the high school and elementary schools. Maybe this becomes kind of a parking lot area for both of those. Then we can add in extension wings in the school library as well. We needed to, but for now, city's not large enough. We'll get to that eventually. Yeah, as far as demand goes, a little bit of commercial, residential is growing as well. But I think I will get to that in the next episode. Again, if you enjoyed this video, enjoyed Cities Skylines 2, want to follow along with Hogland as it expands, remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and that's going to do it here for this episode, and I will catch you all in the next one. Alright, thanks.